Hey everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Total War Warhammer 2. So recently I've been invited to get my hands on with the preview build of the game, and I'm pretty excited to share with you guys this gameplay footage that I've captured where I'm commanding, yes, this Skaven against the Lizardmen. So this is one of the custom battles that we got our hands on, and I apologize for being absolutely terrible. Watching back this replay made me realize how many rookish mistakes I've made, because basically we just got thrown into it and I forgot to pause the game. I was just like, you know what, I'm going with it. I'm just going. So as you can see at the beginning, I'm just kind of going through all the lords of my units and abilities, so feel free to pause this at any moment so you can check it out for yourself. So this is kind of an advanced Skaven army, because we did get our hands on the campaign, and the campaign early game, your units are extremely weak, I'm not gonna lie, but you have a few cards up your sleeve that you can play as a Skaven. One of them, for example, being that the Skaven settlements are built below ground, so other factions will simply see them as ruins on the surface. This enables the player to develop complex settlements out of sight, building powerful garrisons and armies hidden from view. Basically, other factions need to send in a lord or a force to either treasure hunt in those ruins or try and settle them. And then, obviously, they're just gonna see a massive Skaven army that's just gonna pop out of the ground and destroy them. Or at least that's the plan. So another thing that I found quite interesting and unique to the Skaven campaign was the Skaven food, which is a unique resource to the Skaven, kind of similar to how Amber worked for the Wood Elves. So in order for you to gather food as the Skaven, you either get it through winning battles, sacking settlements, raiding in enemy territory, and building key buildings in settlements with farming support. And basically, if you have high food stores, that basically enables you to grow faster, have higher morale, better public order, kind of the stuff that you'd expect. And obviously you get your debuffs if it falls below a certain level. But what was quite interesting about food, you can actually use it before a battle as well as when you try and occupy a settlement. So basically, before a battle, you get to choose how much food you can spend to basically use the ability called the Menace Below, which summons a unit of clan rats, which I'm gonna show to you guys right now, which is just amazing for flanking. I didn't use it well enough in this battle. One thing that I found myself in early game as the Skaven, since I didn't have any cav units and my clan rats or my rats were kind of slow, I always found myself chasing after the elven archers, and I just couldn't catch up with them. But the Menace Below ability is just great for catching them and pinning them in combat, so then you can rush the rest of your army in just to finish them off. And another thing that was quite cool, before you occupy a settlement, you've got the option to spend food as the Skaven to get it to a certain level, so you don't always start at level 0. You can potentially get it up to level 3 or 4, I can't quite remember, so you can get almost like a jump start as the Skaven with the food, which is kind of awesome to keep kind of like the momentum going of just building your army and just rolling over everybody that comes across you. Just kind of like keep the war machine going. So obviously at the event, we only got our hands on the Skaven campaign, but the thing that I kind of picked up on is the developers constantly kept telling us how unique the different factions will feel this time around. And also they want to go for a more kind of like a complete story, more of a complete objective for the campaign with each of the races. So each of the 4 races will have like a completely different campaign almost, and different objectives and everything, which is kind of awesome, and I like that. So one thing that they talked about was rights. So all races in Warhammer 2 have 4 unique rights, a series of campaign level spells which can be cast to bring major bonuses. For example, the Skaven can summon unique hero types which can be used to devastating effect. So one thing that I actually got to was the Doom Engineer, but I never got the chance to use it in the campaign, which I kind of regretted. But basically, the Doom Engineer can be sent forwards towards a city to cause a devastating earthquake, heavily damaging buildings, reducing its settlement level, and killing itself in the process, which is kind of funny. Like just sending a rat on a suicide mission. That's brilliant. But the thing that they also showed us, I don't have any gameplay for this unfortunately, I'm pretty sure it was a right for the Dark Elves, which basically you can summon this city, this floating city. When I say floating, it only floats on the ocean. You can't like have it over land. But essentially you can use it as a boat. But it's a full-blown settlement that you can use to your advantage. You can recruit units, you can build buildings and everything. So what I found was pretty amazing. You can move that next to a settlement that you want to attack by the coast. And when you're in battle, you get special bombardment spells simply because you can cast magic from the city, which just bombards the battlefield, which is just amazing. I can't wait to get my hands on the Dark Elves in the campaign. I think that is gonna be my go-to faction. So speaking of unique objectives and unique feel to the different factions, so they introduced this thing called rituals. So at its heart, the Eye of the Vortex campaign is the struggle for ultimate control. As you guys probably already know, we're basically going to be fighting for the control of the Vortex as the main kind of like plot of the Total War Warhammer 2 campaign. So as the player's campaign advances, they'll gather the core ritual currency for the race, for example the Skaven. They'll have their precious warpstone. As this is gathered, it advances the race along the ritual track. At the top of the campaign screen, you can see it. I'll just quickly show it to you. You don't hover over it or anything, but you can see it's just to the right of the food. And basically, as soon as you've gathered enough to activate a ritual, you can click the ritual icon on the ritual track and it start basically the ritual. And the rituals are race specific, as they are the narrative movies that accompany ritual completion. Like I kind of said to you guys, they're all kind of like feeling unique. And rituals basically get you closer to the domination of the Great Vortex. What's kind of interesting is as soon as you start the ritual, you will see that 3 of your settlements get connected with these bands of energy. And they'll take a set amount of time to perform, and you'll be granted some major campaign-wide buffs for the duration of these rituals. But there's a good reason why it'll take some time, because basically, as you're performing these rituals, the magical disturbance enables the forces of chaos to slip into the world, who then home in directly towards one of the ritual sites, basically trying to stop the entire ritual from taking place. And if they achieve that, then you have to start this ritual from scratch, which is gonna set you back probably on the whole campaign. But also, if you see other factions performing this ritual, you can either intercept yourself by sending an army forward, but the thing is, sometimes that ritual could be performed on the other side of the map, and you're not gonna reach it in 10 turns, obviously. But then what you can do is spend your currency on hiring intervention armies, which is just like as crazy as it sounds. And basically they are air-controlled armies that will pop close to the ritual sites or the factions that are performing the rituals, and they'll just home in and try and intervene with the ritual, which is just amazing. I can't wait to see how that's going to play out. So as you can see, slowly but surely I am winning this battle, which is actually kind of funny, because I spoke to one of the guys from the Total War team afterwards, because I had a real struggle fighting against the Lizardmen on the campaign. They're extremely powerful against the Skaven. Basically, I just talked to him and he was just kind of like, yeah, the Lizardmen just destroy Skaven so much in the early game. But this is kind of cool to see that I've finally had my revenge as the Skaven with my advanced Skaven army. You can see I've got my Doom Wheel and everything on the battlefield. My catapults, surprisingly, are still firing. I don't know how I managed to keep them alive throughout the duration of this entire battle. As you can see, I've got the spears that are trying to go after my catapults, but unfortunately, or fortunately for me, they diverted to one of my Skaven beasts. So right now, I'm just basically trying to wipe out the remainder of the Lizardmen. The thing that they kind of do, they go into, I think, this fury mode, where basically they just keep on fighting, they just don't care. But as you can see, we have our victory. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this preview video of Total War Warhammer 2. I hope you guys are excited for the release of this game. It's releasing in September, so expect some content. So make sure you subscribe if you don't want to miss any Total War Warhammer 2 content in the future. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you're gonna have a wonderful day. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Let's shoot for, I don't know, 300 likes. Can we do it? I don't know. I really don't know. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you're gonna have a wonderful day. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.